Why did you go into politics? So I know that, to serve the people, all of that. I know.
The usual talk.
I know. I don't doubt it. But why did you make a choice to leave what you know and do this thing that was a completely different thing to do?
Okay, so in the mid-90s,
Yeah.
when I started reading about MKO Abiola,
Right.
Gospel Truth, I became fascinated. I became very interested. I didn't have much money, but there's this newspaper they used to sell in those days, PM News.
Right.
I would read about this guy.
Right.
I would read his story. I got so encouraged, and something kept pricking my heart. That like this is where you're supposed to go through. This is what you go. And like I said, you have spiritual people, you have people who are not spiritual. In my heart, I've always known that everything I would do, I would have to work with God on it.
Right.
So I one time I was praying like, God, okay, what of my life? What am I going to do? And he says, no, just look at it one day at a time. As every day come, everything will begin to unravel and you begin to understand. So even while I was acting, I have an uncle in Surulere known as Fuadoki. Many of us in Lagos politics know him very well.
Right.
So while I was acting, I would always go to Uncle Fuad's house in the evening. I got home late every time.
Right.
Those years. This was like maybe 2003, 2004.
Right.
And I was learning. Uncle Fuad would talk. Hey, Iwo, Orie, Ngboron. I started to listen. I'm like, ah. So I would go home. I would gist my wife. She didn't take me seriously then. Till when I now went to Benin, I went to see Adams Oshiomhole, who really liked me.
Right.
And he had just won his election there. No, the trial, because he was with, I think Sunday or Sunday, I can't remember the year. Yes, so he won, he came
his
in,
case, yes.
He won the case, yeah. And then I went with him, we went around, stayed for a couple of days, and I told him of my interest. At this time, I was also talking with the then governor, Raji Fashola as well, His Excellency. I was also messaging him because, the Bible says your gift will make room for you. Yeah. So I by reason of this
your work,
gift,
you had access to them.
We had some form of access, and we had their numbers. I could message, I could talk, and Rotimi Amechi too was there. Akpabio. Right. So I had met all these people, not forgetting Suswam as well. So anywhere, any state I went to, I would go and meet the governor.
Right.
I want politics, And for me, I wasn't even looking at the end sight. I just knew that I would work, I would do things, I would win the awards, but deep inside, I was very unsettled. I felt like something was losing away. One certain day, Oshiomhole told me, comrade, senator, that Asiwaju was coming to Benin.
Right.
I think the next week or 2 weeks later. And he asked me to come, to which I did. Asiwaju came on the table. I was in awe seeing great personalities. And Adams stood up, asked me to come, took me to Asiwaju on that table. And says, this is blah, blah. He said, yeah, he knows me, blah, blah, blah. And he says, he's interested, this is my song, blah, blah, blah. You just do the normal dobaling thing and all that. And Asiwaju says, okay. Now links me up with Sunday Dari, who was his PA. Yeah. And obviously, because you can't meet Asiwaju all the time. So, and I'll tell you one of the remarkable things that happened one day. We went to visit Asiwaju. And then I don't know, the man just for some reason just loved me. I don't know, maybe because he just thought this young boy who is having a career, what thing this boy they can't find for this thing, But I was always talking with Uncle Sunday. Oh, I want to see Daddy, I want to see Asiwaju, blah, blah, blah. And then one certain day, it was one of these elections, long time ago. He wasn't running. We went to see one of the aspirants. Myself, Jide Kosoko, Mike Ezoroye, Chinedu. It just like, this particular aspirant was coming to see, and then we talked, and Uncle Jide just said, you know what, let's go to Asiwaju's house. Then he was former governor.
Yes.
We'll just go to his house like, he said, come, let's go to his house. Like that. You say like that, okay. You won't believe it, we got there like 7. We didn't leave there till after 12 midnight.
Right. Because you were talking.
Oh my God. he was talking to us like we just woke up in the morning, said, Daddy, good morning, we are going out. We actors were just sitting there like, and we're gisting with him, talking with him. There's certain things that happened in his government, he told us that he did to make certain things move.
Right.
And when we came out, Uncle Chude was saying, Shemi was over. I told you guys, you see? And we're so excited.
I know in the public you were very gracious, as to this LP candidacy and Olumide. I said, but in the private, were you like this small boy?
No, never.
Even as an actor, like we start acting this thing, maybe you're not even born. You were not. There was no sense of that.
I've known him. I knew him.
Yeah.
For a while.
Right.
He's a very smart guy.
Yes.
Very smart, very intelligent,
Yeah.
and.
I also know him by Surulere guy because we used to even live in the same area in Surulere. Yeah.
Very smart, very intelligent, and I don't think it was about him.
Right.
Okay, so I wasn't upset with him.
Okay.
I was upset with some veterans.
Okay.
Who endorsed him.
Right.
Now listen, who endorsed him who live in Surulere. No, when I mean endorse him is, okay, so you're my paddy, and I know you got my back. So another thing is trying to be truthful, in things. So I'm like, okay, guy, come. These are the things I also did for the industry.
Right.
Do you understand? And you know that in this job we do, experience is very important. The only way you can grow in leaps and bounds is when you are returned. And then obviously you become better than the last one.
Right.
Because you're having younger people come.
Right.
So in other words, it's not just in Nigeria, it's everywhere in the world, in the legislature. When you are ranking, your possibility of getting better stakes are there.
Right.
And I ask, don't you think, because Surulere is more informed. I say, it's not even about Desmond now. Desmond's election was first term, second term. Third term, fourth term, whatever term given again, this is your people. This is your industry. This is your this. What can you do? How are you going to do it? And I just said, I used Honorable Femi Baja as an example.
Right.
He came the first, second, by second, third, fourth, fifth. You could see the
momentum,
manifest changes he was doing. And I was like, hey, yes, I'm not federal, I'm state, but hey, I can do this. Do you understand? So
why didn't they support you then? Why were they endorsing?
No, there was no. Okay, so basically, I don't think there was any reason. Don't forget, knowing that people have a right.
Right.
You have your right to choose whomever you want to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. But if they were your colleagues and
so two of them were like, I'm very close to this guy.
Right.
I'm close to the family. I'm close to this.
Right.
It could be that could be that. Well, that's the reason
they
give me.
Yeah.
I probably don't think it's all the reasons.
Right.
But they more have their own.
What do you think? So why did it upset you?
Because you are my person.
And you, right.
Yeah, so it's not because you are a filmmaker, because you are my person.
Right.
Me and you dey.
Right.
We dey hang out, we dey talk. When I have programs in the assembly, I invite you. You are even a guest star. I'm not joking.
Yeah. So let's see your friends now.
Yes.
How can that be possible?
Because what is life? My very good friends, let me go come. One is doing his child's dedication.
You were very grateful in your post about your wife. Yeah?
Yes.
What is the thing that leads to such gratitude?
Is someone I met in school, University of Jos, and we met through church, and she was not someone I'm like, we are then in those days we're contemporary young Christians. She was from the Apostolic Church, and they are very conservative.
Yeah.
So the blend, it wasn't something I would think about. We're going to do something, my wife would say, ask the Holy Spirit first. It was strange to me. Like, okay. Okay, now you won't go heaven first. Okay,
It's quite a lot.
It was quite a lot. So for me, it was like that.
Yeah.
And talking to her and going through. So everything that's happened in my life, if I called her, you won't believe my first money was 5,000 naira. No,
Okay.
500 naira.
Right. First money from acting.
Yes. And each time I spoke with her, she would always, okay, not bad. We not get money, not bad, but can't you tell them 1,000?
I love it.
I would try the next time, it will work.
Right.
So something happened that blew my mind one day. I was already collecting, I think at that time, maybe 80K per film.
Okay.
And this guy of blessed memory, Donald Okoli, calls me and tells me, Desi has a job for me. I was driving at this point. We're going somewhere. And then this was early 2000s, I believe. And as we're driving, she now said to me, oh, you have a job? Okay, when? I told her I was very excited because I asked Donald who the actors would be. Emeka Ike, I think. I can't remember their names now, but I know Emeka Ike wasn't it. Right. So she said, so as we're driving, she now said, so how much are they paying? I said, normal price, 80K. She said, you know, you've been collecting 80K for a while.
Right.
I said, yeah. And she's like, you know what, why don't you just increase it? Tell him 120. I was on Echo Bridge. I stepped on the brakes a bit. I'm like, come on, this guy will take this work and give. And look at the actors I'll be around. Let me look at the mileage rather than the money. And she's like, no, you've been collecting this for a while. I say, yes, but it's okay. She says, no, try. You know. So I was bold. I called Donald. I will not forget. So I cannot lie on a dead person. I called Donald up and I said, Donald, my money don't increase. And he's like, how much you could take? How? So I told him 120. Donald, of blessed memory, he gave a big sigh and hung up.
I love it.
Calls me back and says, Desmond, you are being unappreciative. I have given you this. I have done this, and you're not calling this amount. Come on. And he hung up.
Right.
And I turned to her and like, you see what you've cost? I've lost my job. I've lost this. She says, no, sometimes you should be able to, you know, it was hard then. And people who know me, I don't know if I'm quick-tempered, but I get angry this moment and that's it. I just say what I need to say and that's it. So she just says, well, she was just making a point. I should call him back and I said no, because it will make me look stupid. I kept driving. I think before I got to Lekki, Donald calls me up, changes his tone. Now say, Des now, where are you? Don't they do this thing for a while now? Blah, blah. And here I am driving, here I am listening, and he finished and said, I beg, take 100 now.
You couldn't believe it.
100K. Moi. Yeah. I said, okay, no problem. I hung up the phone. And she said, what did he say? And I said, he said 100,000. I said, you see, I told you. So so it's not just the monetary part, but the fact that all through the time that I've been busy at work, school, politics, she made sure the home front was okay. And she was quite understanding. And it's not easy to find someone who's understanding. So when she said, you know what, I have helped you through your career, I put mine on hold to train the kids. Now the kids are grown, blah, blah, blah. I also want to go back to school. So I'm like, they're not born me to say no, who I be. So she's at school right now, schooling as well. And
her first or second degree?
Second. She's doing her master's right now. And I'm happy for it, you know.
Talking about this whole not answering questions in the media, you know, a few weeks ago, I was surprised that somebody asked you on the stadium or somewhere, you know, are you gay because of this blog, whatever, and you replied, you know.
Initially, he didn't tell me the question he was going to ask me. So after we had finished the interview, because there were lots of other TV stations there, and then it was on the football match. I was, I powered, you know, in honor of the Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, for the great things he's done. So I, in my constituency and around. So he now said he wanted to do the interview. I said no, that I wasn't going to because we're tired and we're watching the match. He now said, no, please, it's just something very important. And he's a cool guy, I know him.
He's your guy.
So he asked the question and I said, okay, no, I am not. Firstly, I said I was not going to give credence to answering such a person. But for the record, I'm straight. I couldn't be straighter than whatever. I couldn't be any straighter or whatever it was I said. And, you know, when the thing went on, in fact, my pastor even called, was very upset and said, you shouldn't have spoken. I said, well, sir, I didn't think they were going to coil me this way.
In that way.
And the next match, he came and I said, wait till I tell you. wait till I tell you.
Yeah.
Should I tell you, see, then go use this thing, turn them upside down.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
That's
but,
right.
you know, for us, it is what it is. Anybody can say whatever
they want to say.
Bro, do you live your life?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
if you live your life for people, I'm not talking whether it's Nigerians or whatever, then you will not achieve what you're aimed to achieve.
Yeah.
Just remain focused.
Focus on what you're
And there's nothing that says in the book that you're a perfect being. So along the line, as you sojourn through this, trying to make a statement and make a remarkable thing and maybe have a purpose for life or what you feel God has asked you to come and do here on earth, as you go through it, you will definitely make mistakes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know, so if that happened, so when that happened, I told him, I said, you see, I now asked him, was the credit given to you for this? No. Now you've gone to go and talk with him, you're not supposed to open mouth talk. Now you see him. So next time I'll be very wise. But will I still make mistakes like that? Yes, now.
Yes, right.
Because I'm human.
That's how it is.
But that's life.
That's
so
life.
you say, oh, okay, I messed up. Bye-bye. Sorry. I
Yeah.
come back tomorrow. I try and become better.